Welcome to the Peak Performance and Peak Satisfaction podcast with Master Executive Coach Sherry Gregoff. Sherry helps business people perform better, get rewarded handsomely, and actually enjoy their work. After having her own career turnaround, she now helps other high-powered business professionals experience the same. Join the movement to work differently.
Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here. As successful business people, we have followed through consistently to advance our careers to this level. This week, we apply this skill in all areas of life and check for sustainability. Listen to this episode to adopt the mindset for rock-solid self-discipline in your career, health, and relationships. Before we jump in, I want to shout out one of my clients who had a win in this area. Here's the quote from him. Sherry helped me see that my aspiring to be the very best in my work could be directly applied to my fitness journey. The last 2 years have been a struggle with motivation, but now I see the path to achieve the same level of excellence in my fitness as I enjoy in my career. This client has unshakable belief in achieving blue sky goals in his career, for his business, and his team. He has proven his approach to first believe that there were no limits to their success, and then created that success time and again. He and his team enjoyed accolades and recognition of their outstanding achievements. This became a virtuous cycle in that his belief in himself grew each time he achieved a new result, which opened the door for the next. When we discussed his fitness goals, his energy turned, and the focus was on lack of motivation and consistency. Having this parallel track in his professional success helped to recognize the stark difference in his mindset and associated results. While he had clear proof that his thoughts and beliefs created his business results, this framework had not yet been applied to his fitness. We discussed how he might create that same virtuous cycle in his fitness next, with the right mindset and strategies, including setting audacious goals and measuring and celebrating inputs while trusting the results would be sure to follow. This routine of curating our belief and actions ensures we achieve the success and satisfaction that we seek, and it can be applied to any area of life. In fact, the more comprehensively we use it to follow through everywhere, the more mutual reinforcement each life domain offers each other. Similar victories are shared by all of my clients, and I have experienced it too in my own career turnaround. So let's hop to today's podcast content and get you on your way to experiencing this also. Today we are discussing follow-through. Even the mention of these words may incite a little dread or unease. Follow-through sounds like something we have to do. Even the term self-discipline sounds so not sexy. There's a marketing campaign for a bank right now that celebrates how brilliantly boring their work is. Smart, steady, and dependable, but stunningly effective. Banking can be boring so that you can be unboring in life is the tagline. I would like to offer that when done right, our approach to follow-through will feel anything but boring or monotonous. In the client win that we kicked off with today, the incredible success my client enjoys in his business feels anything but boring or stale. Consider an area of success that you already have, whatever it is. Does it feel boring? Nah. Going for what we want and then creating it feels like an energy boost. It's exhilarating. It's powerful. It's self-actualization. We say things like, I put my mind to it and did it. I always get what I came for. If there's someone who could make this happen, it's me. I was made for this. No matter the odds or adversity, I get it done. Even hearing these words, what emotional reaction did you have? If you got a readily accessible example in mind, you may feel strong, capable, creative, and energized. If that example didn't leap to mind, You might feel this as out of reach for you. I assure you that it's just in this moment. Pause to look back at your track record in different areas, your professional achievement in different seasons, academic achievement, athletic achievement. Find one that you are most proud of. We can channel what worked in that instance to remind you of all that you are capable of. This is an important step that you don't want to skip. Renewing that self-belief that you achieve what you put your mind to, it's table stakes for today, the price of admission. The confidence and certainty that accompanies setting a goal, saying we will do something, and then actually doing it is priceless. It creates momentum that makes all that you want to create in your work and life more probable. One way to see this at work is to consider when you haven't believed in yourself as being capable or accomplishing a goal. Maybe you set an intention for this year 4 months ago, but thought it was unrealistic and out of reach. So the effort you put forth towards it was inconsistent and half-hearted. A few weeks into it, you decided the results reaped were inconsequential, and so you discarded the goal. Sound familiar? It should. Research and studies indicate that around 80% of resolutions are abandoned by the second week of February. By the end of year, only about 8 to 10% of people feel they were successful in keeping their resolutions. This is a common predicament. In this podcast, we are arming you to follow through consistently. You can use this in your business goals, career goals, fitness goals, relationship goals, wealth goals, everywhere. I like the example of our fitness goals because we've all experienced these as humans, and there are some obstacles that arise viscerally that usually appear in every domain of life from which we can learn today. As an executive coach certified in life coaching, the majority of my clients watch their health improve drastically as we coach together. The strategies we will cover today will give you a glimpse into our coaching work together that has had multiple clients letting go of 20 pounds of weight that they didn't want. In whatever work or life domain you have a vision that you seek to create, or all of them if you're like me, consider that whatever the current state in that area is now is a direct reflection of what you have believed was possible for you. With our physical fitness, we can easily assess how well we are treating ourselves. Our emotional wellness will show directly in the strength, mobility, and pain levels in our bodies. Have you ever been to a physical therapist, even for treatment of a specific issue, and they read your mail upon arrival? I went for rehab of a single body part, and they began with an assessment of my gait, posture, and could see immediately where I was holding my stress from my high-stakes job, what areas of my body I was neglecting in my strength training, and where I was carrying myself in a way that reflected how many hours I spent hunched at a computer screen. Guilty as charged. I was floored and grateful for an expert assessment. Our fitness overall works the same way. It's a billboard of how well we are caring for ourselves. As a coach, I work with business professionals to take excellent care of themselves. It improves their performance and their satisfaction, so we never overlook this part of the equation. One of my coaches explains that we are the number one asset in our businesses, so of course we require pristine maintenance. For my executives, our companies will send us for executive physicals, a full assessment of our health in every dimension, and clear prescription for how to optimize it. There is one reason why the smartest companies do this. They realize that their people are the most valuable assets. Medical leaves for mental health or heart attacks are not in the game plan for their business success. So they stay ahead of it and design preventative care just for this reason. If it makes good business sense to do this, of course we can do the same. Not only will our careers and businesses benefit, but more importantly, everything and everyone else in our personal lives will too. We know this, and yet we fall prey to the routines and patterns of the day, of society, and of colleagues and peers instead. If the logical argument is there that our well-being, our physical fitness, and emotional wellness being stellar will make us better in our roles as business professionals, spouses, parents, children, siblings, friends, community leaders, and on, why don't we follow through? Here are 5 likely culprits of not following through on what we know is best for us, whether that's in our careers or in our fitness journeys or anywhere else, based on what I have observed in countless business professionals and in myself. The first culprit: we don't believe we can. We think it's not possible. Everything around us right now is a reflection of what we believed was possible for us. We thought we could live in this place, in this home, with these people, drive this car, work this job, travel to these places, and have this level of health. Our reality will only stretch as far as our imagination can. The first reason why we don't follow through on actions that will create the career and life that we truly want is because ultimately we just don't believe it is possible for us. It might be possible for other people. In fact, we might observe people with that exact success or vision, at least in one area of their lives, that we also seek. But when it comes to our potential, we tend to underestimate what is possible. To flip this dynamic, set out in search of all the evidence that it is possible. Who else has it been possible for? If them, why not you? What evidence is there around you specifically that this might be possible for you? Whether it's your dream scope for your job, that promotion, or that fitness milestone. Take a look at your track record and find where you have done something similar or tangential before. Where have you committed to something and then honored your word? You said you would do it, and you did. For my client featured in today's client win, he had aimed to be the best in his function at work, and he was, multiple times over, as evidenced by awards and accolades. He had proof of blowing his own mind, and it began with him believing it was possible. As he took steps towards it and had small wins along the way, it felt probable. Now that he's done it several times, it feels inevitable. When you see that follow through and achieving the desired results in one area of your life, you can replicate it elsewhere by leaning on that belief that got the flywheel spinning. You have the tools and capability. Now you just apply it in a new space. I've had people say to me, "But Sherry, what about my son, who's 5'5" and 140 pounds? He wants to be in the NFL. Is everything really possible?" I love these tests. As adults, we count ourselves out of even trying long before we aim that high from where we are now. Our capability is far greater than we dare to dream. What's that phrase? Aim for the moon and you'll reach the stars. Cue eye roll. But honestly, if all we search for is evidence that our big goal is impossible, we will get what we ask for. Our aim is to reach our full potential. Maybe it's not the NFL for your son, but it's probably higher than his guidance counselor is steering him towards. Lord knows my guidance counselors at every step were encouraging me to take it slow, be more realistic, and temper my enthusiasm. I'm glad I ignored them time and again. Here are some thoughts and beliefs to borrow and practice. I can do this. This evidence shows I am already doing this. If others can, I can too. It's inevitable for me. The second culprit that gets in the way of our follow-through is that we seek escape and comfort from our high-stress and high-stakes careers. We would rather not, we think. That sounds like a lot of work. Whether it's building sponsorship for your promotion or getting in that daily movement for your fitness, it's easier in the moment to capitulate and decide it's too hard. Every person who has struggled to turn off their alarm clock without hitting snooze to go to the gym before a very full workday can tell you That bed feels warm and cozy, and if we give ourselves the option to hide under the covers instead of lift weights, we will. In the moment, we opt for the instant gratification. What feels easy now? We procrastinate and avoid things that seem hard now when there's an easier alternative that we can choose in the moment. This includes soothing ourselves as a type of reward. Think of the beverage you might select after a hard day at work. It feels like a small reward, like a comfort for having made it through another busy or stressful day. We find our day-to-day so challenging that when given the chance, we treat ourselves. We might have a goal that we had planned to follow through on, but then we don't because we've earned it. I love to travel, but having been grounded from travel recently, I've begun to wonder, why is it that we look so forward to leaving our everyday life behind? It's commonplace to have regular days, especially weekdays, be filled with dreaded tasks and activities. Even our homes can be a source of stress as the piles of clutter or undone tasks weigh on us such that we can't even relax. So we dream of and count down to our next trip. We dream of stepping out of our current lives and into a reality where someone else washes our towels and real life feels far away. Not having traveled for longer than usual, I'm making a concerted effort to enjoy my daily reality more. What would I do on vacation that I can do every day instead? Have my morning coffee outside. Have uninterrupted time with my spouse, dreaming big about our future together. How can we create work and life that we aren't looking to escape or aren't seeking comfort to cope with? The answer usually involves following through on making changes that will improve our everyday experience. That might mean doing the legwork to garner support for your promotion, or sorting and clearing out the clutter so your home feels more like a vacation spot, or moving daily to feel strong enough to do all the things you love. For any goal where the actions to create it seem like too much work or too uncomfortable, choose your hard. Identify what is hard in daily life right now because you aren't going for it. Decide what small, consistent action you can take daily to follow through on making your work and life a dream version that you don't have to seek reprieve from. Commit to doing those small, consistent actions every single day. Yes, daily frequency is important until it just becomes part of your identity, who you are. This is when you don't have to decide whether or not to head to the gym when your alarm clock goes off. You just do it without giving opportunity for decision fatigue to steer your results. The thoughts and beliefs to try on here are, this is just who I am and what I do. I do what I say every time without fail, and that does feel great. The third culprit keeping us from following through is that we lean on unhealthy drivers to fuel our ambition. We think we don't have a choice. I had another client this week reflect on his driver for his work and success, his big reason why. The main motivator for him to date was to escape the poverty that he experienced growing up and to provide for his family so they would not want for anything. I have seen this exact motivator in many of my clients over the years. It was mine for decades too. It can be incredibly effective for a time. It's got two drawbacks though. One is when it's our safety and security on the line, we tend to overdo it and overwork. We land ourselves in the hospital from lack of boundaries. Second is that at some point our level of financial independence and security makes it clear that this fighting for survival just no longer applies. It may leave a gaping hole. Where will my inspiration come from now? This can initially feel like panic or like being lost without our North Star mission. If you can relate to this, I invite you to celebrate that your drive no longer has to come from a place of lack, of not being sufficient, or a mandatory search for security. A driving cause that is rooted in sufficiency and abundance can be far more powerful and healthy. This is moving from white knuckling what we do to doing it because we want to. And that takes finding your new big reason why for everything you do, whether it's excelling in your work, your fitness, or your relationships. We are at our best when we have big, audacious goals and when we feel sufficient with where we are now. If that gap between now and that future that you want feels so big that you couldn't imagine finding sufficiency with now, let alone contentment, there is one antidote for you: gratitude. I recently did this exercise with a friend. After unloading all of her woes, complaints, suffering, worries, and fears, I asked her what was all of the good in her life that she was grateful for. She named 2 things and said, "That's it." I told her, "No dice. Keep going." I could visually see the click in her brain when she didn't let it off the hook, but instead wound it up to find all the things she was thankful for that was already in her life. Wouldn't you know that she actually went for 37 minutes and named 107 things? I know because I wrote them down for her so she could reference it again and again to find this place of sufficiency. After doing that exercise, she was calm, creative, inspired, and hopeful. This is the exact state that is fertile ground for growing your next dreams. It's like there's this blocker to cultivating your future, and it's a desperation to escape the here and now. A level of ungratefulness and disregard for all of the good in our current situation that keeps any more goodness from coming to us. Find that big reason why to persist, even when it's challenging or uncomfortable or new, that isn't grounded in need, desperation, lack, or scarcity. A new driving cause might be to create an impact on this world, to leave a legacy that is bigger than us, to serve other people. This is the opportunity to broaden our lens from survival and providing for our families to a bigger cause with farther reaching impact. That is inspiring. This is timeless. This is fuel that will last far longer and provide for a much more enjoyable ride. This creates a desire to do the thing, rather than an obligation or a requirement. When we want to do something, instead of feeling that we should be doing that thing, we will follow through at a much higher success rate. The thoughts and beliefs to practice here are, I choose this vision, and here's why. There's always a choice, and this is mine. I want to do this. Culprit number 4, keeping us from following through, is that we follow the crowd. We think, no one else is doing that, and I don't want to be the risky outlier. Peer pressure is real. I say this as the parents of 2 middle schoolers, but it's not just the schoolyard. The parent pickup parking lot is just as lethal. You can tell by the similarity of the cars that pick up. We can sometimes be followers and aim to fit in. Look at trends in your office. Guys in sleeveless vests. Women in Uggs. No, I'm just kidding. For the office anyway. When did it become cool to walk around in slippers in public? I joke on our fashion choices, but consider how many things that are known to be net awful for us we've just gotten comfortable with. Drinking alcohol, whether it's daily or until we compromise our judgment. Spending beyond our means. Luxury brands on our person and personal debt on our minds. I've been at elegant charity galas and had professionals offer the table CBD gummies to make the time more enjoyable. Recovering COPD patients enjoying that Cuban cigar. It's a head scratcher, even as I list these, right? But we do it together. We follow what those around us do. We can't all be wrong, right? When we have those big, audacious goals, and here's a suggestion that logically moves us closer to that goal, but it isn't the norm of the day, We stop and think, well, that sounds outlandish. But if everyone reached that big goal that you have, then it wouldn't be audacious. So if your game plan is to do the things that everyone else does, it makes sense that it won't move you closer to your goal. We can relax our standards or upgrade them. If we want to lose weight, but the thought of cutting alcohol seems far-fetched. If we want to increase our compensation, but the thought of raising the topic of money at work seems ill-conceived. If we want to enjoy our marriage more, but the thought of skipping the all-guys, all-girls trip to Vegas seems strange, well, we have a choice to make. Do we want to fit in with what everyone else is doing, or do we want exceptional results? We get to choose. The thoughts and beliefs to try on here include, I blaze my own path, and it leads directly to what I want to create in my work and life. Culprit number 5 that keeps us from following through is avoidance and procrastination. We are scared to fail if we really give it our best, because then we believe that all hope will truly be lost. This last culprit is the sneakiest one of all. It's like a subconscious fail-safe, this protective mechanism that we never ordered. When we've got that aggressive career goal, wellness goal, or relationship goal, and the potential for failure is looming, if we let our autopilot take over, we count ourselves out. We back off, we talk ourselves out of it, we decide that goal just isn't in the cards. We take that business that feels like a life calling, and we start describing it as a passion project. We take that fitness goal and we squeeze it into brief stints like New Year's resolution, Lent, and our friends' collective trial of 75 hard. We take that relationship goal and we decide that what we've got now is good enough and it's not really settling. This push and pull between the strong desire to go for it and this wave of retreat is our brain's sneaky way of trying to keep us safe. Our subconscious reason is that if we try, if we go all in and give this goal our very best and it doesn't work out, then we would be so crestfallen that we could never recover. To preempt that, it reasons, we increase the certainty in the situation by dooming it from the start. Then we know exactly how to do that and exactly what the outcome would be. Hopes not dashed, problem solved. Our higher level thinking that we have access to realizes that this is suffocating our own hopes and dreams out of fear. It's guaranteeing that we never reach them by not trying in earnest consistently. It's self-sabotage, and the actual experience is frustration and disappointment that is far worse than going for it no matter the outcome. Instead, we commit. We realize that every step forward, even if it doesn't create the outcome we want immediately, teaches us what we need to know in order to succeed in creating it. The thoughts and beliefs to embrace here include, the only real failure is quitting, and that's not me. I celebrate my consistency and every small win on the way to creating my dream in real life. I never lose. I always win or learn. These 5 culprits and how to squash them is what you need to know to follow through consistently. Do the thing, not because you have to, but because you want to. If you're really honest with yourself, you want to. So do it every day. Celebrate your consistency as inputs. Create your habits with intention and watch them become your identity. Grow your belief in yourself with every single time that you do what you say you will do, and keep your word to yourself. The more you do this, the more unstoppable you will feel. It won't feel boring. I assure you that it will feel empowering and energizing. Don't take my word for it. Get after it today. We can have it all, the dream career and dream life, with stellar health and relationships. It starts with following through on what we know creates it. The degree to which we follow through is directly linked to our thoughts and mindset. I believe this to my core. I live it. My clients do too. No lie, it's changed our work and life from top to bottom. If we can do it, you can too. Book time with me at the link in the show notes, and we can start this work together. Until next time.
Looking for support in applying the principles and strategies in today's episode? Sherry coaches clients one-on-one as their trusted confidant and advisor, helping each client create the work and life they had only dreamed of. To schedule your complimentary career strategy session, go to sherrygregoff.com/apply to book time with her today. It's one simple step that can change everything.